Hello, ma'am. Finally.
Hi, Sonal. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, actually, I have joined from my mobile. I was not able to join with my with my laptop. Yeah, sorry. I don't know what goofed up, but this is how women are. They find the ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you found the way. Yes.
Sorry, I don't know what
It
goofed
was
up,
very
but
surprised. You
this
just
is how
gave
women
us
are.
like it was so like we just saw it happen right now.
Sorry, I don't know what goofed up. You have to allow me some time. I'm just putting my headphone on so that
Yes.
people can
All
hear me better.
I'm so happy that we figured it out. I mean, it was evidently not happening for a little while, but we figured it out.
Oh yeah, and I, as I said, women can find the ways, and
Right.
uh, so yeah. So no, just a minute.
Yes, yes, yes. No worries. I am absolutely happy that it has started for us now and we're going in the right direction. You take your time. Let me know when you're ready and we'll start.
Yeah, so we're just in a moment because I'm on mobile, so I'm just setting up mobile on something so that I am not bothered later. Um,
I hope you had a good day. I hope you're as excited as me for this live because you are a role model that I think every girl can look up to and wish to become like you. So I'm very honored to be here to host your interview.
I'm humble, truly overwhelmed to be here. That's something that I really wanted to. Um, Yeah, so Sonal, I think we can start now. Let's just start
So,
the session, yeah?
I would like to welcome all the viewers who are watching now, who will be watching later on to this live of, where two women are going to talk about what it is like to be a woman. And one established woman entrepreneur is going to talk about what it is like being a woman entrepreneur. So, first, I would like to introduce you, ma'am. So, today, my guest here on the live edition of KY Talk is Shahawar Samrat. She is an enterprising woman leader and an entrepreneur with extensive experience building business from the ground up. Well, she actively advocates for women empowerment and entrepreneurship. She is an international spokesperson and a goodwill and a global goodwill ambassador, and is also a certified coach for emotional intelligence, certified from the USA. She is the president of Wiki for Handicraft Council, UP, and state influencer for Womanovator, recognized among top 50 influencers across the globe. So, we are going to have some interesting conversation today, and the topic, as you may have seen on our previous posts, is Women, the Game Changers. And definitely, ma'am has proved how once a woman decides to change the game, she can really make it happen. So, ma'am, welcome to KYE.
Thank you so much, Sonal. After a lot of hard work, now we are here live on the talk,
Yes,
and
yes.
let's get going. Thank you so much for such a overwhelming introduction. I am truly honored.
Oh, it's my pleasure, ma'am. And it is my honor to even be giving an introduction for you. So let's start. First of all, I know that you are a fashion designer. You work with company IBMs. You own a restaurant, and you also own your own business. So there are a lot of hats that you don outside the house. Well, that is one thing, but then you're also a wife, a daughter, a mother, and so many things that a woman, is actually. So, my first question to you would be, how do you manage both your work life and your home life? Like, how do you strike that balance? Because women are known to be able to strike that balance.
I would say, Sonal, that's very natural to a woman to multitask and to prioritize things. If she really wants to do something, she can. And that comes natural to me as well. So it's not difficult for me to, divide my time on basis on my priority, and I can really do it easily. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So, ma'am, while growing up, who would you say was your role model? I mean, did you ever think as a child that you would one day be this successful a woman who is also advocating for the rights of other women? But
So I would say, Sonal, that my role model is my father. I would say, was my father. I still consider that he is with me in form of his precious memories that I have spent time with him, and the guidance that he has given me from my childhood. My father was my role model, and I would say that he was a very successful entrepreneur in his life. He started his journey from the scratch, and he could do. He was a serial entrepreneur. He was in multiple businesses. That's in my blood, and he actually have inspired me and to be the person I am today. So I would say my father. Yes.
right, ma'am, you must have also faced certain challenges, right, when you actually embarked on this journey of becoming an entrepreneur yourself.
I'm sorry.
You also must have faced certain challenges when you decided to go on this journey of being an entrepreneur yourself.
Oh, yes, I would say that has been quite a journey. I would say not only the entrepreneur journey, but as a woman, girl, child, I had started my life very early because I was 4 years old when I had to travel to another city to stay and study away from my parents. And just because my mom, yeah, so the force behind uh, the thought that my mom had for to providing all of us a good education, all us sisters. So we had to shift to a city where we could find a good institute and a college and a university. My parents chose for me Aligarh city, because I come from a village and then a small city, Aligarh. I studied there. I did my graduation from Aligarh, and then I did fashion designing from NIF New Delhi, and then I had worked with IBM. So I would say that there were challenges, and they were, the challenges comes your way, but they can't stop you. So you have the power and the force to come out and to live your life the way you want to. And that courage was there. I had a lot of motivation in my life. I had a lot of role models in form of my elder brother, my sisters, my younger brother, and all the people who surrounds me. So yes, I would say that there were challenges, but no, challenges cannot stop, or they cannot be a hurdle or a reason to.
Like they're not a hurdle, they are more like stepping stones towards success.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, like the problem that is with looking for a life purpose. What would you say about this thing where this generation or in general it is considered that success is the source of happiness? What would you like to say about it?
So I would say that's a very good question that you have actually asked me. That many people don't actually know the true purpose of their life, and uh, I am no different. So I had actually found the purpose of my life only few years back. Even though I was successful in my venture, the business I was doing, in my family life, everything, whatever I was doing it successfully. But somewhere I was not content. I was having that feeling that is this really my purpose of life? And I would say that my life purpose is to use my own personal transformation to help transform society, to make it a better place for especially women to live in. And I would say the hero's journey is not just illustrated in a fiction world, but also there are real life heroes we should look up to. We have Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther, and I would name some women here: Crenshaw Majumdar, Harbeen Arora, I would say Trapti Sonali Singhal. So we
Right.
have women who are leading the life for other women also, and creating a world a better place for other women to live in. And it's I would say that one should always know, because there are many people who are passionately working to achieve success and goals of their life, but is the success or their achievements are the true reason to make them happy? That's a question. Yeah. So, sometimes even successful people, you may go and ask them that, are you really happy? They may, to my surprise, they may answer you that no. So true happiness comes from if you find the purpose of your life, and if you're able to make the purpose of your life in sync with your passion of your life. So I would say that my passion and my purpose of life, it has actually come together in sync, and that is something to do for the society, for the women, to give back to those who are in need, and to be the voice of the women who are suppressed.
Right. To become the voice of those who can't speak up for themselves, and you're
Yeah.
doing it graciously, ma'am. So, like you said that you were studying in a small town such as Aligarh, and you've done fashion designing. So, as a young girl, how was the experience back then? And what is your say on the fact that young girls want to become the sons of their house? What are your views on this?
So I am happy that that you could raise this question, because whenever I speak about, that how a young girl should be, or how she should idealize as someone in her life. It should not be a male or a female, or she should not, try to be the man or a boy of the family, because I consider men, they are not the complete being. They themselves is a half being, and they are not complete in their own self. Whereas I see the woman is complete. Woman is more, I would say, evolved, and she can multitask, she can do many things in their life. So if I want to be the man or a boy of the family, I am competing with someone who is not actually the ideal.
Right.
And that's what we see nowadays. We have a surrounding, and we have a society where we see both, the boy, they are the boy because they've been raised as a boy in Indian society. They can't even make a cup of tea for themselves. They can't go and bring things on their table on their own. उनको खाना लगा के दे देते हैं टेबल पे, और वो आके खा लेते हैं. और मैं कहूंगी कि जो वुमेन है, वुमेन is a complete being. She does things for herself, she does for others, society, family, country, for that matter. You see in Olympic how women is making India proud. And I would say that women should compete with herself, because she is the best version, and she is the best uh, person to compete with. So she should compete with herself to be a better person every day. Competition is healthy if you have a role model in your life, and if you idealize someone. But please don't try to be a man, because men तो खुद ही काम नहीं कर रहे. और अगर
Right.
वुमेन भी मैन बन के काम करना छोड़ देंगे, कमाना, पैसे लेके आना is not enough work to make the society as a whole a complete beautiful place to live. तो इफ
Right.
अगर वुमेन भी ये सोच के काम करना छोड़ दें, अब हम भी काम पे जा रहे हैं, और तो फिर
नहीं
society
है, फिर
society
चलेगा.
will, yeah, so there'll always be something missing, and
Right.
it will not be a beautiful world, will not be a beautiful place to live.
Right.
So rather, the men should say that we want to be like her. So I would say that women should be futuristic in a way, that she should be the ideal for the men's and the boys in the family.
Right, right. And ma'am, let's like talk about your move to Africa and what did you see there and how has that experience changed you? What has how like how have your views changed? because of that?
So I would say, Sonali, that uh, there in Africa, when I went there, I had a lot of apprehensions. People told me that वहाँ जा रहे हो रहने के लिए और वहाँ तो चोरियां भी होती हैं, इतना सेफ जगह नहीं है.
Like, like, did you decide to go to Africa? What was the purpose of visiting Africa?
So my husband got an opportunity. We went there as an expatriates. He got a offer, and it was so tempting that we could not refuse. And when we actually went there, we saw that it's a beautiful place to be. And and I had enjoyed my life all my 10 years. It was like a long holiday, beautiful place full of nature. People are warm and well mannered, and I would say that it was a good move for us. But what really triggered me, and how Africa played a big role to find the purpose of my life, because I had actually, yeah, I was working here in India running my own restaurant before moving to Africa. I had to close that one, and I was concerned that what will I do when I'll be there? I'll not be working, and that was my biggest concern. But then when I went there, I was just loved it. I loved the place. I loved the people. I made good friends, and then I started, because I was sitting at home, I started contributing and helping, volunteering in the biggest slum of the world named Kibera, and I saw the light. Earlier, I used to do charity, but the true sense of giving actually has, I would say, the place has enlightened me, made me a different person, because I've seen the difficulties that people are actually going through and struggling. We say we complain for small little things, and when we see people don't have even a proper classroom to sit, to study, the kids who are ambitious, intelligent, and then some places wherein things like which we take for granted, like water, is
Right.
something to clean water. It's something very, very difficult
Sick
to
for us.
get. Yeah, so there I saw that I should do something, and if I'm blessed, if I'm empowered, if I have a voice, I should raise, and I should try to make little efforts to make the world a better place for other people in the world. And I would say that women and girls represent half of the world, the population. Yeah, so we women are the half of the population of the world, and therefore also half of its potential as well, right? So choose to be role models and raise one. So we should definitely work hard to be the role models, as we understand that there are, we say we are thinking that pandemic is a big issue.
Right.
The pandemic a real big issue. I would say the violence against women is the biggest pandemic of the world. The half the population was already suffering
For a very
from,
long time. This
yeah, the half the world was suffering from past many years, and many are silently going through it, and no voice has been raised against them. And the voices which has been raised, were they enough? So so that was the place, and I would say the women should be in the roles, powerful roles everywhere, where they can take a decision. They should be in the administrative role. They should be in the policy making. There should be a place for a woman in every society, every community, in every company's board members. There should be equal number of women presence, and in our parliament for that matter, so that we can make a policies for which are equally good for the women as well.
which are beneficial to the woman, like in real.
Yes.
And like it is also like you mentioned that a lot of times बहुत लोगों ने women's के rights के लिए आवाज उठाई है. Yes, but क्या हो जाता है थोड़े टाइम के बाद things go back to being the way they were, the bad way they were. I feel कि problem ये है कि सिर्फ आवाज उठानी जरूरी नहीं है. Now it is time that we empower every woman so she can speak for herself. अभी
So,
कोई
yeah.
एक representative एक कम्युनिटी ऑफ वुमेन के लिए आवाज उठाए, उससे अच्छा हम उस कम्युनिटी को एम्पावर करते हैं ताकि वो अपने लिए आवाज खुद उठा पाए.
सोनिया, इसके लिए जिम्मेदार कौन है? इसके लिए हम भी उतने ही जिम्मेदार हैं, क्योंकि मैं मेन को ब्लेम नहीं करती हूँ, क्योंकि वी आर द वन हु रेज आवर किड्स, यू नो. So charity starts from your own home. So we need to inculcate the good habits in the boys in the family, as well as we should empower the girls of the family equally, and we should make both of them confident enough, and we should make both of them strong enough and ready to be there in the future if any difficulty arises.
The
So
upbringing should be such, yes. The upbringing really molds a person or
it does
uski
matter.
soch.
Yes, it does
Matters.
matter. Yeah.
So, ma'am, you're a global goodwill ambassador. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people look up to you, and that is how you've reached this level. But how does it feel to, actually see all the work that you're putting in is actually, being rewarded in a way? How does it?
Yeah, so I would say definitely it feels very good. It feels amazing, but at the same time, it comes with a huge responsibility. And being a global goodwill ambassador is something that I proudly talk about, because it doesn't. I did not get that title because the work that I'm doing for earning the profits for my company or for my family, for that matter. This is the title that I've got for my humanitarian work that I do in serving the society, empowering women, and working on health and hygiene of women fraternity. So I would say that yes, and I've been recognized as among the top 50 global influencers. So when people get inspired and influencers looking at you, then you have a huge responsibility. Then whatever you're doing, you are not doing for yourself, but you're doing for the entire community.
So, ma'am, like you said that you are a fashion designer, you work with company IBNs, you have a huge profile, and then you're also doing like you own a restaurant, you have your own business, and that is just one segment of your life, just one part of your life. The other part is the social work and the charity work that you do. Please enlighten us about the work that you do.
So I would say that I am, as you said, I'm a global goodwill ambassador. I am also an international director of WOW, World Association of Women Warriors, wherein we are empowering women on the subject of health and hygiene. So we are making them aware on the issues. In India, there are still places, and I would say in Africa as well, because I'm working focusedly on India and Africa. So there are still places where during the menstrual days of the women life, there are women, they are not even able to use a cloth, a piece of cloth. I would not say disposable, napkins or pads, but they are not even having the piece of cloth to use. So there are places where women dig hole or use an empty plastic box, and the girl, small girl, they sit on it for 7 days. Can you understand the pain? Can you understand that what they are actually going through? This is something that gives you goosebumps if you go and talk to them and understand their pain, because then they are not only getting the problem in their physical health, but they are not emotionally strong as well. So we need to think about those young girls. In India also, if you go to the areas in Madhya Pradesh where the Naxali regions are, and I would say the tribals live. So, many of them are literate now, coming forward and adopting good habits, but still there is a huge population where we have to cover. So this WOW is working for them, and recognizing,
Basic
yeah,
thing.
and recognizing them, rewarding them. The women who are working to empower other women. Last year we did a Warrior Awards, wherein Kiran Bedi ji was there as a chief guest, and there were role models like Ruma Devi, Zoya, the pilot Zoya. She was there as a guest of honor. Prerna Kohli, she is a gold medalist and a President Award winner for on mental health. And Ira Singhal ji was there. She is an IAS officer, topper, and specially abled woman. But I would say she is very strong and a role model for others who feels that a physical ability can push us back. So nothing is a hurdle if you have a will you have a way.
So clearly, ma'am,
And this is just one organization I had talked about. So I am working with All Ladies League. I am a state influencer for Women Innovator. I am a state president for Wiki Women Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for Handicrafts Council for UP State, and I'm also running my own trust, India Talent Treasure Trust, wherein I'm focused to revive and restore the crafts of India.
So, I will get to India Talent Treasure later because I also want to talk about it and the work that you're doing there. But first, I would like to say that since we talk so much about women empowerment, it clearly is a subject of importance to you. It is close to your heart. And there are a lot of women out there who see other women having issues, facing issues, and you feel that there needs to be a change. कुछ तो होना चाहिए, change आना चाहिए, बदलाव आना चाहिए. But you, ma'am, you had the courage to actually take a step and do something about it. So, what would you say, or why did you say? Where did you find that courage from?
So I would say, see, it's just a awakening. I would say, that one should feel that they have to do for other people. For me, I would say that coming back to India was my calling, wherein that God has chosen me to serve the people. Because I was again apprehensive that, after living 10 years here, how my kids will be settled in India. And because they were, one of them were born there in Nairobi. So there were apprehensions, but I think that God has chosen me to serve other people, and it's not that you have to learn. I think everybody in the world have that sense of giving back to the society. Just that we need to feel the pain of others, and you do it. You do it when if you see. Yeah, so if you visit the places like orphanages, if you go to the old age home, then you would understand their pain, and you will feel that you should do something with them.
So, speaking of India Talent Treasure, that is your trust. You've been working with so many, initiatives, social initiatives for social causes. You already been doing charity work, but then you went ahead and registered this trust because you do realize, and like most of us do, but we don't really are successful in taking a step or doing anything about it. But you saw that there was so much art that our country has. सच्ची सोने की चिड़िया है. टैलेंट के मामले में, आर्ट के मामले में, हर चीज के मामले में हमारी कंट्री सोने की चिड़िया है. हाँ, और आपने वो देखा कि इतना हुनर है, इतना आर्ट है, इतने ब्यूटीफुल किस्म का आर्ट है which is dying, and then you took a step to make sure that before it goes extinct, you want to save as much as you can. So where do you find the motivation to go ahead for this particular thing?
Yeah, so I would say that being a designer for me, that comes naturally, that I'm kind of inclined towards the handicrafts and arts and those, the special crafted pieces. And I would say that I was lucky to live in India and then Africa. Both the region, I would say India as a country and Africa as a continent, is rich with their craft and culture and the talent. इट्स कूट कूट के भरा हुआ है लोगों में. बट मुझे क्या समझ आया बीइंग अ डिजाइनर, क्योंकि मैंने निफ्ट से किया है, निफ्ट कंसिडर टू बी वन ऑफ द बेस्ट इंस्टीट्यूट इन द वर्ल्ड फॉर फैशन डिजाइनिंग. सो आई कुड सी दे हैव टैलेंट, मगर उनके पास मार्केट में क्या पसंद किया जाएगा ये नॉलेज नहीं है. And they are making the same things from past many years without knowing and understanding कि मार्केट में किस चीज की रिक्वायरमेंट है और जो एंड यूजर्स है वो क्या चाहते हैं. सो आई हैड टू क्रिएट एंड ब्रिंग सम इनोवेशन so that I can provide better means for the artisans of my country, for that matter, because I started the home decor company, the Luke Story. Yeah, and then I could see while working for my company, I could see that many of the arts of our country are becoming the dying arts. वो नेक्स्ट जनरेशन में जा ही नहीं रही है. जो 80 साल के हैं कोई बुजुर्ग, वो बना रहे हैं और फिर वो आगे किसी को सिखा नहीं रहे. एंड दैट्स वेयर द पेन आई फेल्ट, एंड आई फेल्ट दैट आई शुड डू समथिंग फॉर दीज पीपल. They are so talented. If they'll not teach this for the next generation, then this will be over. The game will be over. So that's where I had registered my trust, and I do create a platform, and I do give them opportunity to come. We hold exhibitions, and I work closely with other NGOs who support handicrafts, and I through my wiki also I promote and support the handcrafts of India. And I would say that I'm trying to bring some innovation, mixing African crafts with Indian crafts using technology, because that is very important. When there is a change coming, one should adopt the change, because हम वही चीज अगर बेच रहे हैं तो हम उसकी तो डिमांड कम हो रही है ना मार्केट में, और हमको डिमांड बढ़ानी है. अगर वो करना है, then we should bring something new to the market. So we have to create innovative products. At the same time, I wanted to do something for the labor laws, क्योंकि अगर आप कारखानों में चले जाएं तो वहाँ पे लोग अपने हाथ यूज कर रहे हैं, केमिकल से डायरेक्ट इम्पैक्ट आ रहे हैं, ग्लव्स से काम नहीं कर रहे, यूनिफॉर्म नहीं पहन रहे. Wherein I've seen all of these things are being applicable and are strict rule outside India. Even in countries like Africa. So जो अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज है वहां भी लोग ऐसा कर रहे हैं कि यूनिफॉर्म पहनते हैं, while working in India, it's वो तो सारे कपड़े उतार देते हैं, तो उनकी स्किन पे और ज्यादा इन्फेक्शन हो रहे होते हैं. So we thought we should do something do something to make a better welfare and a society for the artisans of India. And I am currently proudly running a contest called Pehchan Hunar Se, from my trust, India Talent Treasure Trust, along with Amroha Se NGO. And we are giving a platform to the people who are talented and who have skill, who are, all the artisans, especially the women artisans from Uttar Pradesh. We are giving them a platform. They can send a picture of their work, and we will, include them in an entry, and then we will hold an event to promote top 20 from there, and we will support them in a long run.
So it's like an art contest.
Yeah, I would say it's bigger than that, because there is a motive behind to provide, to provide the livelihood, to create an institution with the people who are skilled. We may give employment to those who are deserving and have that kind of talent, and we can hire them for the skill institute that we want to open in the small towns.
So coming back to the topic for today's live, which is women empowerment, let's talk about women and emotional intelligence. What are your views on that?
So being a certified coach on emotional intelligence, that is something that I would say that people are not even aware that there is something called emotional intelligence. To my surprise, not only people who come from a lower segment, but people who work for corporates and established businesswomen, or a woman who are running women empowerment associations or organization or NGOs, they are also themselves not aware of it. So I would say, that it's very important to learn about emotional intelligence. EQ is more important nowadays than IQ. If you want to, have a better workplace for yourself and for your employees for that matter, if you want to earn better profits for yourself for running a company, you should be very, very high scored on your emotional intelligence level. And I would say that women is a better, than men when it comes to deciding things. Because they consider the people's emotions when they take decision, and that's where they are able to connect with the employees of the company, and that's where they have a better loyalty rate, and less absconding things happens when a woman leader is working in a corporate world. So we see less attrition than the man is working as a leader. So because women connects better, sometimes we should give a benefit of doubt. I will give some examples here so that the audience can understand what I mean by saying emotional intelligence, because it's just not a term, it's a huge thing that people should know. So sometimes you're going to office, and then when you go there, you see your boss is not talking to you nicely, and you take it very personally on yourself, and then you tend to feel demotivated. Okay. I would say that you should give a benefit of doubt. You should know that it not maybe your work. This may be because of something happened while he is driving to the office, or something has hit his home, or a pressure on him from different departments, or something related to, yeah. So and not only this, I would say that there is example in my company itself. Like, there was a guy, I had to finish my order, export order, and this guy said, and I had to finish in a very small timeline. And this guy was saying that, madam, I can't work today. And I couldn't afford that. I was in a situation that, should I give him the permission to leave, or I should force him rather. But then I thought that if I'll force him, he may stay back, but he may also not work for me for a longer period of time. So there may be something that I was asking him that what's the reason. He was not very comfortable to share what was the reason, and he came back the next day and he said, ma'am, instead of working 8 hours, I'll work 16 hours for next whatever time you're saying, I'll complete the order, because there was something very personal going on in my life, and I had to go in, because you allowed me the right time, I could save someone's life. So sometimes you don't know, and you force people to work for you, and you think that will bring better profits to your company. But when you connect with the people through their emotional levels, they become loyal. And this person, till now, whenever I ask him to do overtime for me, he is overwhelmed, and he will always say yes. And this is one example. If you connect with the people, India is very cultured and diverse place wherein we have multiple religion. If you go, people take care of them on their festivals, wish them personally, give them something to make them feel they are special, and they mean for you, and they are special employees for you. They definitely come back to you and return the time when you want them to perform for your company.
People remember when you are kind to them. I mean, kuch
Yeah.
aur remember enough.
Yes. So this is for the work front. But if you talk about personally in your life, if you want to live a healthy life with a good mental health, then you should definitely know your IQ levels, and if they are not good, please work on them. I'm talking to all my audience today.
Wow, wonderful, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing your
So
thoughts on
yeah, so Sonal, I say that when you're happy yourself, then also you can make other people happy. If you're खुद ही परेशान है, खुद ही struggle कर रहे हैं और समझ में नहीं आ रहा, sometimes you don't feel motivated to do enough and better in your life. There may be 100 reasons, but little effort from your side to understand that what's going on. You should give yourself a moment. You should allow yourself to sit and understand, and bounce back with more force and energy.
So, ma'am, coming to a conclusion for this live, I would like to ask you, since you work in this field and on this particular cause of women empowerment for so long, you have gathered some experience. You would be the right person to comment on where do you see us headed, like us women. What do you see in the near future that is going to come as a benefit to us all women? Or do you see that women empowerment is actually taking place and it is helping a lot of women? What would you say?
Yeah, so I would say that Solal, see, as if you hear from World Economic Forum, the experts there, they say it will still take 145 years to get women equal rights in a true healthy manner. Okay, so if we really want to be there sooner or before than that, then we don't need only women to work for women empowerment or equality for that matter. We need to have men's as well. We need an inclusive society where the men, the fathers, the brothers, and the sons should support and consider a woman equal intelligent being of the family, because जब घर में decision लेने की बात आती है, बड़े important फैसले लेने की बात आती है, तो head of the family सिर्फ men को माना जाता है और उन्हीं की राय मान ली जाती है. अगर हो सकता है कि जो लेडी है घर की, उसकी समझ उस मेन से ज्यादा भी हो सकती है. बट
Right.
यू नो, या सो घर में भी राउंड टेबल मीटिंग्स होनी चाहिए जैसे
Right.
ऑफिस में होती हैं. एंड देन इन ईच ऑफिस वी शुड हैव more women representing the board of the company, and we
Right.
should have more women not
Upper
only
management.
working for women empowerment, but they should be there in the special roles, administrative jobs. We need more lawyers, and we need women where the policies are being made. अगर
Right.
उन profiles और उन roles पे women होंगी, then only we'll be able to
Yes.
create. And so I would say the world can only be beautiful if we give the due respect and right that women deserve to live in the world.
Very well said, ma'am. And what an end we have reached for this live. I mean, this is where I would say that I aim to reach as I started this live with you. So, as we come to the end of this live, I would like to tell my audience that an empowered woman empowers other women, and that is the example that we are seeing here. Here, Shoravar, your ma'am is actually the woman who is not just empowered herself, but she is doing her best to empower every woman out there, and that is a very commendable thing. The other thing that I also want to say is one woman empowered is one family empowered. When you change that one perspective of that one woman who feels empowered and feels confident, you can see the change coming about in the family, because a woman can actually mend the ways that the upbringing of the children is done, like ma'am said in the beginning. Thank you, ma'am, for
Yes,
sharing
so
your.
Soner, I want to add here that you said the empowered women empower women, and one woman can bring the entire change in the society. I would say that it's not only the empowered women. We should now focus on a health of the women. One healthy woman can create the healthy family.
Wow.
Okay, and a healthy teachers in the school with a good mental health can nurture the future of our country,
Right.
for that matter, or for the world. So we need to have women with a good mental health. So we should all take care of the women, starting from our houses.
Houses, yes. अपने घर में I mean बूंद बूंद करके दरिया बनता है, so
बिल्कुल,
we should try our best.
बिल्कुल.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining me here on the live edition of KY Talks. I was really honored to have this conversation with. I do take a lot from this conversation, so that is one woman in the direction of empowerment. That I can assure you.
Overran, thank you for having me here. It was great talking to you, and look forward to create a better community together for the women fraternity.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And
Pleasure.
with that, we come to the end of this live, guys. Thank you for joining us and watching this live. And do make sure that you take away the best out of this. One woman empowered is one family empowered. And a healthy woman, that is a woman with a good mental health, can really make a change in the society. So let's
Yes.
aim for that. Thank you.
Thank you.